What's up, everybody? Zach here with Crew 42, and we are presenting the Cracked Plastic Classic located at Cold Brook Park in Climax, Michigan. I'm Zach O'Haron, and here commentating with me I have Donut.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Super excited to finally get this coverage out to you guys. It happened in earlier February. We've been working on some new things here to kind of up our coverage, and so we're really excited to show this for you guys. We have 4 people on the card, including last year's State Championship Geoff Bennett, also notable Tim Weimer, Wonch, and Patrick Burke. So excited to have these guys, all of them except for Jeff, our first time on the channel. So super excited to feature some new guys as we head into hole 1 here, 216 feet par 3. Pretty simple. You just have to hit this gap that's over the top of the hill, and just nothing that's too fast, obviously, otherwise you'll go skipping past the basket and get into some trouble behind it.
See a lot of flip-up putters here, a lot of backhand shots. It's an easy hole, but when you miss, it's not really a mistake. You just hit a Michigan tree.
Right.
It's sitting right in the middle.
And so here, Geoff Bennett was just leaped a little bit to the right, and there's a little trouble over there. Nicked a tree, left himself short, so he's probably going to have to either lay it up or he's going to have to give a long look.
Patrick, way too much turn on this. Just kind of lined up poorly on the first hole of the day.
Yep, and it's definitely, conditions today are not ideal, right? As Andrew does the same thing there, hits an early tree there, but it's definitely cold. There's still snow on the ground. You might notice the hole reviews do not have it. We weren't able to get back into Cold Brook until later after the snow had melted. That's pretty ideal, though.
Nice shot from local Tim Weimer.
Yep, this is definitely one of the courses he likes to play, I think, on a regular basis. So.
And then you and I have played a decent amount with Tim at Vicksburg doubles. He shows up on a decent amount of Fridays.
Yep. Good disc golfer. I love hanging out with him. I've seen him at Knollwood Dubs as well on a weekend or two, so it's always fun to hang out with him a little bit and play. Super excited to get him on the channel. I talked to him a little bit before it. We saw him at Allegan's Solstice event where he hit a couple back-to-back short aces. So.
And then we're going to see a bunch of very, very, very easy layups here. Super tough hole to get a 4 on. The 3 kind of happens. Even the best players in the world are going to hit some of those trees on the upshot. Ooh, missed putt there. So easy upshot, but a little bit of cold nerves.
Everything
really old basket.
Yep.
Not a lot working towards our players today, but we are going to see a 4. But we do see a lot of 3s. The rest of the open players.
It was a bit unlucky too. That rattled quite around a lot of the rim.
He hit a lot of chains and hit the back rim, and then it kind of tilted out.
It just had that bad angle on it. So unlucky start for Andrew there, but you're right there. Getting 3 there is pretty normal. As we head into hole 2 now, 333 feet. I believe they played the parking lot there on the left side is OB. That is traditionally what the border there is, and so they're looking to usually do a forehand here. Big hyzer is crashing into the basket. You do see some people do backhand turnover shots and try to get the disc a slower disc to fly all the way there. Yeah, the backhand hyzer route isn't there
at all. I mean, you can go straight, but anyone with a backhand is comfortable doing this turnover shot.
Yep.
The forehand's a little cleaner and just a little more simple if you have 330 downhill power.
Right.
But Tim's a little more comfortable with the backhand.
And he's got some flippy stuff in his back for sure.
Oh, yeah. And then this OB really isn't in play. You can leave it out as wide as you want.
Yep.
And we're going to see a ton of these from Geoff Bennett. If you didn't watch Crew 42's State Championship coverage where, spoilers, Jeff took it down, he throws a ton of forehands, especially off the tee. Really leverages Firebird and his destroyer.
Yeah, and he's really solid at that. So we'll see that, I'm certain, today, especially in another wooded course. Looks like Patrick and Tim both went a little long, got stuck in that brush a little bit, but they should have a look at the basket. Still probably right around circle's edge at worst, right about now. But
this is a beautiful turn from Andrew.
Yep.
After, not really a disaster, but his hole 1 did not go how he wanted.
Yeah, unlucky.
So this is a great bounce back. We'll see if he's able to miss that putt or make this putt after his CTP drive. Beautiful state champ putt from Jeff.
Yep, classic. Real nice shot. Seeing the slow-mo here. Really nice looking putt. He had to actually choose between both sides of the tree. Took him a second to choose that he wanted to go on that right side where his hand was kind of obstructed a little bit, but he was able to make the adjustment, make a really nice putt there. And a decent run from Patrick there as well from a knee.
Tim definitely obstructed in this look.
Yeah.
Wasn't happy with his release there. Got a little caught up. Didn't like his line.
Andrew from probably 25 feet.
Cashing it in, back down to even.
Yep. So good adjustment from Andrew on that second hole there.
And it's so easy to just start the disaster round on hole 1.
Yeah.
And let that affect you for the rest of the day. But he should be have a clean head going into an easier hole 3.
Yep. Hole 3 coming up next. It has more teeth than it looks, 231 feet. You really just want to put something right down the center pipe here. A little bit of fade at the very end of it. You don't need something that's too overstable. You could throw a zone if you have maybe not a Paul Macbeth 4-time, but something similar to that.
Sure. An overstable putter, even if it's not like a zone or a pig, just like a brand new putter is great for this, or an overstable mid touch shot or a stable mid touch shot.
Right. Geoff actually going with the forehand force over. Actually fought through a lot of stuff, gives himself a look. He'll be in circle 1, but he's got a bunch of things going on around him.
Geoff has made quite a career out of throwing forehands where he has absolutely no business doing so.
But he hits it every time. It's so fun to watch.
You can't argue with results.
Yeah, he did it at States, like you had mentioned earlier. He does that at a bunch of States where you look at the hole and you're like, well, this is an easy backhand choice. And then he throws forehand and you're like, why would you do that? But then you see that he's parked and he's like, oh, I guess that's why you do it.
The right to left fade and he just throws a Firebird forehand. And you're like, I don't think that.
But whatever gets him birdies. All right, everyone's up here. Everyone's got a pretty decent look at the basket here. From down on one knee, he's going to have to lay that up. Probably take a tap in 3 there. Patrick from a good ways out. He's in a bit of a marshy land. Knocks it down.
Yeah, those horrible footing. His shoes are going to be dirty, and he is definitely outside circle there.
Yeah.
Easy bird from Tim.
Geoff actually having to crouch down here, find a little opening. He's able to knock it down. So Andrew tapping in this par here for the 3rd hole here. So off to a pretty good start here. Our card's actually looking pretty decent right now. A couple guys already 2 down.
Yeah, they're looking good through the cold.
Yeah. Hole 4 now, 391 feet. Now this hole got much easier. You see that tree laying across the fairway there. When that tree used to be up, that's definitely the tree everyone used to hit. So now that it's open, you can attack this gap a little more aggressively. Trying to get something with high speed to get maybe halfway up this hill and try to skip it up towards the basket probably. If you're really trying to get this full distance, it plays much more than 391 though.
Yeah, so this used to be pretty much definitely a par 4. Now it's kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
Geoff is attacking it. He has 400 foot power even uphill, but didn't get the cleanest release on that and caught some foliage and it hyzered out early.
Still should be able to hopefully get up and down from there though. That's usually the play, even when that old guardian tree used to be there. People laying it up to right into that bottom of the valley there and then trying to kick it up the hill for a 3.
Tim throwing some super flippy. He released that on max hyzer and it almost rolled.
Yep. Andrew releasing really low here. Again, another aggressive look. That's the cleanest shot we've seen yet. Got caught up in a couple logs there, but
that's a beautiful drive for the 3.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of that where you pitch to the bottom of the hill, get through this gap, which is pretty wide, but we see a lot of stuff like this, where if you try to get too aggressive, it's super easy to take a wider lane and hit something early, and then you're easily looking at the 4.
Andrew actually just nicked off that first tree off the fairway, and it just had enough spin on it where it just kept going up the fairway. So he's in a prime spot, center of the fairway. He's going to have a good look to pitch up here.
Beautiful layup from Geoff here.
Yep.
You see a lot of those discs still spinning in the snow, where maybe they would cut roll or keep sliding or anything like that, but these discs just kind of slow down.
Tim having to go around the other way.
That's a beautiful shot.
That's a fantastic shot indeed. Able to get it up close to the basket. 2 textbook layup shots.
Yeah, really? Ooh, that's a misfire. He wanted to go wide with that.
Yep. Again, it's real rough conditions cold-wise. It was pretty... I can't remember what the temperature was exactly, but I know that my hands were already cold and I had gloves on the whole time. But he's able to get that up shot there, so he should hopefully have a tap in for 4. Pat squeaking it by a tree.
Little safe run here. There's really not any disaster when you're going uphill like that.
Because rollaways are harder to get to here with the snow, unless it's been packed. I guess the only the snow is a little glossed over, right? There's
people have been playing here.
Right. There was an event the day before, so definitely if it's packed enough, if your disc happened to flip, as Tim almost did a game of heart attack. Giving a big smile to the camera there, but if it went top on the to the ground, it could slide quite a bit on a hill like that.
Oh, the upside down disc.
Yeah, for sure. Hole 5 now, 420 feet, probably one of the more difficult holes on the course here. You got to get through this first gap. You can either choose to go with an Anheuser route on the left side or try to put something dead straight on the right gap. You're just trying to get as far down this fairway as possible. A 2 here is a huge bonus birdie.
That's an eagle.
Yeah, it feels like
a par 4. This gap is hard to hit, and the power and the control to get it that far out. See, Geoff's drive looks beautiful. He hit the gap. He's got great turn on that. That's going to get all the way down. He can throw 420 feet downhill, but then there's just stuff in the way the whole way. And then the putt's obstructed, too, even if you do get it out.
Right.
Another beautiful backhand drive that hits out of the gap perfectly. And
that right side, those pine trees, you can kind of see that he nicked there, Tim did. Those are on the right side, so that's the risk. If you do put your disc a little too far to the right, you're going to run into that. I think that the gap on the left side, trying to do something turnover through that gap, is more open for you to try to attack.
And you definitely can get a 2 on this hole or get well down there for an easy layup and a tap in. And these are 4 not great drives. But, I mean, they're all going for it, and this is what happens more often than the 2.
Yeah, it is definitely a difficult hole. If you took a 2 on this, you're guaranteeing that you're taking strokes on the field. At least 1.
I'd be surprised if we had 2 2s on this in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
From the entire open field.
And Andrew there just cranking this way up in the air.
Great scramble skills.
Huge Annie shot. It just got all the way down there, going to give him a look.
Geoff releasing a little unusually. I don't know what he was scared of there. I think he didn't want to end up in those pine trees, but then he left it a little short, a little left.
Yep. Could be the cold, too. It's definitely a factor still, holding on to discs and weird releases.
That's a beautiful
shot. That's textbook. You even read the slide of the snow really well. This is the best looking drive out of the group from Tim here. He's probably halfway there. He's just trying to throw a low
and that's
shot.
Really a great drive.
Yeah. I think this is BT banger he threw there. Just really dependable for him. Dead straight. And he able to clean up after struggling a little bit off the tee there in the woods. But a great third shot over the top of the trees to get himself close there. So, bar down from Geoff there. Take whatever you can get, right? Especially these older baskets definitely catch differently than the newer ones that feel a little bit bigger even.
Yeah, they catch soft putts really, really well.
Yeah.
If you touch chains with something really, really soft, it's probably going to drop. But these firm putts that most new baskets prefer just get destroyed.
Right.
Absolutely eaten up.
Hole 6, 258 feet. This is a very technical hole, left to right, the whole way there, dogleg. And there's a lot of trees that can get in your way.
So if you look at this hole backwards, it's really easy to see the line. Where you throw a turnover and then it glides down the fairway. But then when you come back to the tee box, once you figured out what you're going to do, looking back, you're just like, I don't see how that's even possible.
Right. So you could, you're talking right there, you could see that line.
There's a backhand and a forehand line, and Geoff is absolutely a master at hitting stuff like that, and is not even really close for a 2 look.
Yeah, it's just that congested in the fairway. Definitely a Michigan hole.
Right, and I wouldn't be surprised, maybe not on this card, but to see a lot of open players just lay up to the gap on hole 1 so they don't end up like this. Well, that might end up being a good kick with the backdoor gap, but it's really, really easy to find yourself with no way to take a 3 on this.
Yeah.
And so most players are going to be, they're not going to take a 2, and there's no real way to attack it from the tee box outside of a long putt. Or just a miracle.
Shout out to Cordy right now. He's throwing a Sonic on the hole that we just came from.
Oh, my guy.
He was on our, Gilligan's Island coverage last year. Just a huge shout out.
And then our players getting fairly lucky with their drives that they can all lay up for their tap-ins.
Yep.
But I'm a little surprised we didn't see a layup off the tee here.
I think this is a hole that everyone wants to get because it feels so short that, like, the concept of the hole is not incredibly difficult. It's just the gaps in this fairway are so small that you can get punished pretty quickly.
They're going for it because they think they might be able to, not because they should.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, not punished, so might as well. Oh no, another missed putt from...
Just short there. A little bit uphill. You can't quite see it.
25 feet. And again, I don't know what his putt looks like outside of this course, but he might have changed something to try to soften something up for this basket.
Tim found himself in another bush on his layup or on his approach shot. He's found himself in a bush quite often this round. He's already found himself in a couple already.
And then Andrew is our lowest rated player on this card, and he did talk about having no aspirations of really winning this tournament or doing super, super well. He wanted to play in Open to give himself an opportunity to play with some better players.
Yeah.
And maybe learn something and maybe get lucky on a couple holes and have a great day to shine.
Yeah, absolutely. So hole 7 here, 204 feet, another par 3. Very similar to last hole, but rather than going uphill, you're going downhill. But a very similar concept here. You were trying to throw a putter backhand, most likely, as Geoff is doing it right now. Got punished at the last guardian tree that he needed to be. Otherwise, that might even have been an ace run.
Yeah, so, again, it's a left to right fade, but Geoff, the forehand guy, is electing a backhand because the turn is so early.
Yep.
It's really hard. You'd have to flip something up with a forehand.
Yeah.
Because it turns and then moves flat for another 120 feet.
Yeah.
And you can really only do that with a backhand shot.
Patrick able to go wide there through the gap, so he's going to be inside circle. Nice shot from him.
And then you want to take the really, really tight gap. That's what all of our players are going to be aiming for. But there is a backdoor route if you miss. Like, Andrew hit the backdoor route, or missed and then didn't get the backdoor route. But Patrick, I think, missed his line but got all the way around everything.
Yep. Andrew's second shot able to get through the woods. He'll have an uphill putt there, probably just outside circle 1. Geoff is definitely going to be running this. Just off the top. Whew, good run from him. Oh, look, Tim's found himself in another bush. It's his favorite place to be today so far. Good run from him just off the top as well.
Just an obstructed stance.
Yeah.
He's really comfortable from that distance, even in adverse conditions, but...
Yeah, just the weather at this point, the temperature actually dropped right after we started, so I checked with someone who was on the card. I asked them what the temperature was, and it actually dropped a little bit. These guys are doing everything they can. You can see having gloves on like almost the entire round. They're doing what they can to protect themselves. Andrew, I'm assuming, has hunted before since he has his camo on, but he's facing the temperatures head on.
Yeah, going to the sweatshirt. Unclear what he has on under that, but he might need to gear up for round 2 as we're expecting some even colder temperatures as the day goes on.
The day was expecting some more snow, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what some of these guys have to do for that. Hole 8 now, 294 feet. This is a must-get birdie in my opinion, even in these conditions. This is a pretty standard righty backhand hyzer look. For most of these guys, 300 power is well within their repertoire. The gap is pretty far open. You're just trying to rip it right up the gut. Here's Patrick, a great-looking shot.
I love this hole. I think it's very well designed because if you attack it, there is a risk.
Yeah.
Because it's right in between a hill and a cliff. If you skip past the basket to the left here.
Correct.
Where it's not...
Geoff needs to hyzer.
You can climb up and down it, but it is very steep.
Sit. Oh, and there's that snow coming to effect. He was about to round up real nicely under the basket, and it kind of got some of that slick ice there. Spoiler, when we were walking off this hole, I fell right there.
I fell before you guys even threw.
It was definitely slippery out there today. So first 2 shots are actually not that bad at all. Pat was a little short, but here's another example of that snow giving a little bit extra skip there to Tim, so he's going to go all the way down. But that's actually not an abnormal spot for some people to land.
Yeah, so it's tough because... You don't want to go down the hill because then you have a really tough putt coming back. But if you leave it out too far to the right, and then you leave yourself a death putt.
Right.
Or if you miss, then you're in the same position that you tried to stay away from off your drive.
And we've seen what that death putt looks like from Coldbrook before when I hit that. Ooh,
yeah,
nice
you hit it
putt.
from the other side of the fairway?
Yeah, I accidentally overturned it. Go check out that Coldbrook footage if you ever get a second.
Long putt from Tim here. He's well outside.
Ooh,
Drains it.
Ooh, very firm putt. Almost snuck all the way through.
Yeah, I think if that putt was actually better and got up and higher and hit dead center chains, there's no way it's sticking because it's so firm.
Even nicked that branch. You see it wiggling right there. What a putt. From
There's
him.
just so much that took enough power off that it was allowed to sit down in the basket nicely.
All right, so
Big putt from Andrew. That's awesome.
Great recovery from him. And Pat had a really nice first putt as well. A little bit obstructed, had to lean out of it, but that's our first star frame of the round, so that's a great shooting from these guys. Hole 9 now, 159 feet, real short, but this is another really Michigan-like hole, very wooded, very technical. You really need to hit this gap on the right side, probably with a soft putter, nothing that hyzers really too hard, and just let it drift slowly to the basket here.
And then there's a few holes that are like this on this course. We've seen a couple of them, but this one has a line. The next one that looks similarly has no line, but this one this is perfect. It's really high, it's slightly turned, and it's really slow. It's a putter.
And missing this line, you like even if you throw a putter, which doesn't usually have horrible punishment, right? You don't kick too far, you can find yourself in horrible positions.
Another perfect shot, nose up, a little bit of turn, and it's going to stop really well.
Yep.
Get yourself inside circles all you want to do because you can't really get right underneath the basket. You just want to get up and into space. Nose up, turn, just too much.
He's up there most of the way. He might have a long look there, but that's actually probably one of the more generous kicks I've seen on this hole.
This one did not have any turn on it, and
he hit an early tree there on that left side.
He might have gotten lucky enough to give himself an upshot. Oh, he's even got a putt.
You might see the screen fog up a little bit. We've had several problems during the day. Stop.
See ya.
Stop.
Don't hit your bag.
All this packed snow. Just allowing the disc to roll here.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, even a good run. He almost had good height there. Tim here now, trying to gap this just a little too high. Scooted a little far past. He's going to have a tester coming back. Patrick's got an open look.
Yep, that's really the textbook drive, him and Geoff here.
Yep. Tim actually had to go down to a knee and sprawl out a little bit for this putt.
Yeah, I think he got spooked by his drive, didn't leave himself in a bush, so he threw it over the basket and into a bush.
He just
gave himself a little more comfortable putt.
Unfortunately, just a touch short there, as he's going to have to tap in for bogey. But yeah, this hole definitely has teeth to it. It's one of the holes that feels like you really need to get the birdie. If you're competing to win this in this specific tournament, you really need to hit this hole for sure. But it definitely has more teeth than it looks. I've played it a couple times myself.
The hardest 150-foot hole.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a fair one though. I will say that.
Yeah.
And just as you mentioned before, you go from one hole that has a very clear and distinguishable fair gap, and you go to hole 10, which is 189 feet, and there's really just no clean gap here. It's true Michigan.
When I show people this course and say that there's no line, they say something along the lines of, "Wait, no, I see one," and then they walk up into the fairway and go, never mind.
Yeah,
so the goal here is to throw your disc as far as you can before it hits a tree and spikes down, and then you're crossing your fingers that it spikes down and not out.
Geoff got in a good first kick, but then hit another tree. You see he's holding his hand there. It's definitely cold. Probably affected his grip there. So this is probably, like, if you're trying to attack the hole, I think this is the wisest.
You got to go super wide.
Yeah, I think this is the wisest choice. You really want to go way left and either forehand something flat that hyzers at the very end, or you want to throw a flip over. And that's textbook. And again, that's home course advantage for Tim there. Andy with another punishing kick there. He's going to have to stretch out for this approach shot.
But then Tim missed like 6 trees by maybe
it definitely
5 inches to be parked. And it was a beautiful shot and a beautiful line. And there was some risk aversion too there, where he made a decision that line, if he does hit something, it's not going to be that bad either.
Right.
So he gave himself the opportunity to succeed while mitigating his punishment. And he really got rewarded for it after an unfortunate last hole.
Patrick nearly draining that putt from outside circle. A really strong look from him. We saw Geoff just a second ago, too, also throw a little something over the top. Good run from Andrew right there. Oh, there's George Bino in the background there.
Yeah, Geoff has a really good thumber that he tries to hide away from people. Yeah. And all of a sudden it pops out, and you're like, man.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So here's Tim trying to get that stroke back on the card.
Oh, no.
Something happened with his hand there. Either something was on the hand or on the disc maybe.
Yeah, something wet, something cold, something grip issue.
Yeah. Unfortunately caused him to lift the disc.
There's some sappy trees on this course,
yeah,
too.
there are for sure. So he's able to at least hit the par. I know it's not what he wanted to do, but definitely at least he's able to save that. But he's talented enough, he's going to be able to recover fine as we head into hole 11 here. So 180 feet. This is a easier hole now. It's more of a right to left is the gap that you should be going for, or traditionally is going for. Just throw something soft putter-wise, trying to through that gap.
This is the ace run hole.
Yeah, for a lot of people it is. And Patrick just left that a little too wide right, hits a tree, hits himself early in the fairway. So he's probably going to have to just lay up and take a 3 here, or maybe take a long run. It looks like Geoff also laying this out wide, but actually sneaking through for almost everything.
And then I believe this is the 50-50 as well.
For the day, I believe it was. This is looking
That's
really,
a beautiful
really good.
Shot. A little too stable. Maybe wanted to throw his banger exactly like that.
Yeah.
A little slower and a little more control.
Perfect hit. Perfect line, though. Absolutely.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that shot. He parked.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just didn't ace.
Right. Darn it. Nothing. He was feeling confident from the 2 aces he hit in Allegan, right? And so he was trying to go for another one.
Long unobstructed look from Patrick here. He's been looking good from outside. Hasn't found anything to go in, but that's a beautiful layup.
Yep. Easy peasy. Andrew really having to sprawl out here after his tee shot left him in the woods there. Just flicking it around. Puts himself in circle.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that scramble.
Yep.
Not exactly the throw he wanted, but I think that's the result he was looking for in the first place.
Yep. Tim really wanting to get this birdie after missing out the last one. Cashes it in really well there. Nice shot from him. Andy able to hit the par. Good par save from him. That's a difficult stance to get to with how wearing jeans.
Yeah, and then this ground is starting to get really, really slick.
Yep.
So we got a little bit of snowfall. There's the AM event the day before.
Yep.
And then I think it was AM1s and AM3s, and then today is Open Women
AM2.
and AM2s.
Yep.
So the snow was packed down. There's a little bit of snow after. Then now there's someone on every single hole, so it's getting packed down, and then it's getting more slick.
Yeah. As we head into hole 12 now, 180 feet. This one usually is just you're actually probably taking a driver.
Oh, yeah.
And you're trying to really just rip it through that gap and hyzer it through, or you're trying to go for the forehand gap.
There isn't one. He's just throwing a Firebird where he shouldn't.
So I actually talked to a couple people after there is a gap on that side. It's attacks the basket like more for an ace run.
Sure.
And it uses the hill in your favor really well. But like what Tim just threw there, classic textbook. That's exactly how you should approach the hole. It's the safest throw on this hole by...
Yeah, there's a huge gap that you can't really see on the camera to our right there. I wouldn't say it's hard to miss, but it's pretty big.
Yep.
And then I'm going to challenge that 180 feet here. I don't think that's correct. I think it's a little farther.
That's what it says it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not... You can challenge it. That's fine. You're probably right, honestly.
It definitely feels like a 260, 270 foot throw.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of turn in there, and you're throwing a driver, and you're trying to leave something really high.
That net there on the left side is actually the tee pad for the next basket, as Geoff is trying to really sprawled out there throwing a scramble shot.
Oh,
it
my
is
gosh.
Perfect. That's some state champ love right there, if I've ever seen it.
Some state champ skill right there.
Yeah, you're right.
That was calculated.
Yeah, it was 100%. And that's a classic skill there. Just like what he was doing at States. A rare misfire from Patrick there, had it lined up. Just wasn't able to convert that one just wide right.
I think he's having some footing problems down on this low ground. The lower ground really has some more packing problems.
And this is actually kind of sketchy because, like you had mentioned earlier, you can see that there's still some fluffy snow in the background there, but a lot of it's packed. You could walk right up that hill and fall pretty easily if you're not being careful at all. So
yeah, and you'll slide all the way to the bottom.
yeah, these guys need to be taking a little extra caution there. Jeff having a good time with Andy.
Yeah, I think he stole that disc just to putt with it.
Take a look at our front 12 scores here. Jeff Bennett as hot on the card with no bogeys, clean all the way through, only green, as well as Patrick, no bogeys. He's just one stroke down. And Tim really only having the one bogey, but other than that, having a great round. And Andrew looking to recover on the next 12 holes, seeing if he can get back in the race here. So
yeah, shout out to our Patreon sponsors for making our coverage possible, and shout out to DGU for our drone footage.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next round.